Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my craft room. My name is Daryl Walter of Pickled Peppers Creative Cafe at pickledpepperscreative.com. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today is Saturday, December 14th, 2024. Welcome to my craft room. Come on in, come on in, come on in. How are you this winter? Are we in winter yet? I don't know. I think maybe winter officially begins on the 17th or something. I don't know. I'm going to have to look it up. But I am in Michigan and it feels like winter here. It's very cold and we have a little bit of snow. But it is warm here in my craft room because I was careful to bring my coffee for our coffee and create session this morning. So welcome, come on in, come on in. Super excited to have you here. I had initially planned on posting pre-recorded videos for the next couple of weeks so that no one felt they had to be here at any particular time. However, a series of happenings prevented that from happening. However, it brought me here where I love to be, and that is in my craft room with you. So welcome, welcome, and thank you so much for being here. Okay, so today and next week, last week, of course, too, for 3 weeks in a row, I am sharing with you something that can be giveable and that you can create with the stash in your own craft room. So there are giftable stocking stuffers, things like that, that you can use with your stamps, inks, and paper that is in your craft room. And today we're doing much of the same. In fact, we're going to jump in pretty soon here. If you didn't see last week's, I actually brought it along today. So this can be a treat holder. You can stick little candies in here. It even accommodates a pack of hot chocolate. Also, it can be a gift card holder. So if you missed last week, it is here on both Facebook and YouTube, wherever you might be watching from. So yeah. And if you are watching on Facebook, give a thumbs up if you like what we're creating, and I would appreciate that so much. And if you are on YouTube, if you would give a like, hit the subscribe button, that would be fantastic. I'd appreciate it so much. So thank you, thank you. Let's go ahead and get started talking about what we're going to use today. We have a little cutting to do, minimal stamping, and a little bit of coloring for today's project. So let's talk about what we're using. We're going to be creating with the More Than Autumn stamp set and dies. So let's put them side by side so you can see them. So the stamp set is really cool. Can you see everything that's in there? So you have a cup that could be coffee, it could be hot chocolate or whatever you'd like. There's some marshmallows, but I suppose that could be ice. I think they're marshmallows. There's sprinkles. You have a little gingerbread man, a heart, apple, pumpkin. You could put straws in your cup if you wanted. There's a piece of pie and a donut. And then if you can see the sentiments, they are built around the photos. So there's like pumpkin, season, fall, apple, eggnog, autumn. So a lot of different choices. There's the hot cocoa, a lot of different choices for you. And then there are some coordinating phrases that will go. Nothing's better than donuts. So this is a nice and versatile little stamp set bundle, I should say. So it's bundled with the dies. You have some independent words that you can cut out that don't have to be stamped. So can you see that? Quite a few of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so there's 7. The donut. So anyways, we're going to be using this I do like it. This is one of my favorites. But because fall and the Christmas season is my favorite. All right, so let's talk about what else we're using. The designer series paper we're using today is the Snowy Scene 12 by 12. Snowy Scenes, plural, I should say, 12 by 12 designer series paper pack. And in it, I actually cracked it open a little while back. And for whatever reason, I'm just now getting around to using it. I don't know. If you're anything like me, I'm always waiting for the perfect reason to use something. And then whatever, if I don't do it right away, whatever was in my mind, oh my goodness, I lose it. But let's take a look. Look at these snow globes. We'll pull this right out. Aren't they cute? And they're all different. There's a little penguin, snowy house, Christmas tree, a little snowman. So that's cute. And then we have larger ones. You could fussy cut this right out. Isn't it cute? You wouldn't have to use, if you have this paper, you wouldn't have to use dies. There's snowman. There's our cute little penguin with different hats, or some without a hat, some with just a scarf. And then we have holly, and then there are the row houses, or the, I don't know, what kind of houses do you call these? The tall. This is what jumps out at me. And so let's flip it over and take a look at the reverse side. There are candy cane stripes and then little candy canes. You have trees, and then there's some plaid, snowflakes, and finally green snowflakes. So I think this is petal pink. I do like that there are pinks that coordinate with the designer series paper as well. And then I have picked the penguin. So this is the pattern that we'll be using from that designer series paper. So I have a piece of regular basic white. Poppy Parade is the reddish color here. So it's like an orange red. And then finally I have some ribbon because we're going to need that too. So it's petal pink and white. So that is what we're using today. So, oh, good morning. Good morning. Welcome, Julie. Hi, how are you? Welcome, Polly. Welcome to my craft room. Hey, you guys, thanks for coming to hang out today. I have to tell you, I have a different setup today. I got a new phone, and my connectors for the old phone don't work. So I am being a bit what crafty, I'll say, and look and trying to find the comments or keep up with them. But yes, please do chat with me. I love chatting with you while we create, and I will go back after we're done recording and respond to any questions or comments that you have. So good morning. Happy Saturday. Thanks for hanging out with me in my craft room. Okay, so I have two colors of ink. I brought out the Poppy Parade and then the Black Memento. And then remember I said we're going to do a little bit of coloring. So I have two sets of Stampin' Blends. And don't be scared off by the coloring because we are going to do a very, very little. And we do have a little bit of die cutting to do, I think. Or maybe we'll just do some stamping. Okay. Let's get started. So we are making a treat holder. Actually, we're making a lip balm holder. I forgot to tell you that. So I did find a 3-pack of lip gloss, or I don't want to say chapstick is a brand name, right? So we have Chap Ice Lip Balm. There we go. I have lip balm. And we're going to be using that. So let me show you how we will do it. We'll go ahead and get started cutting because we do have some cutting to do. We'll start with our base. So we'll use the Poppy Parade. And I'll bring in my Stampin' Trimmer. I'll tell you that my Stampin' Trimmer is my most utilized tool in my craft room. And you'll be able to get at least several lip balm holders from one piece of designer series, or cardstock, I should say. So the cardstock is 8.5 by 11. We are going to cut it to 3.5 by 5.5. So let's go ahead and cut our 3.5 inch strip first. And I'm actually going to cut 2. That way, when I'm done recording, I can just keep creating. There we go. And then we're going to cut it to 5.5. So, oh my gosh, we'll be able to get 6 from one sheet of cardstock. So with the long side of the cardstock at the top of the trimmer, we're going to go ahead and do our scoring now. We're going to score at 2 3/8 and then 3 1/8. So the we're scoring at 2 1/8. No, 2 3/8. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's 2 little lines past the 2.5 would be 3/8. 1, 2, 3. That's past 2 1/4. So let me show you that again. I misspoke. So we're at the 2 inch mark. We need to score at 2 3/8. So 2 little lines is 1/8, and 2 more are 2/8, and 1, 2 are 3/8. So it's 2 little lines past the 1/4 inch, and then 3 1/8. So we'll move to the 3 inch mark, and then we'll go up 2 little lines, and that's the 1/8, and we'll give it a nice score. All right, so we'll put this aside for a moment. And then let's take the little strip that we have left. So this is the scrap. Remember, I've cut these already for more holders later. So I'm going to take the little strip that we have left. Good morning, Marie. Welcome. Welcome to my craft room. Good morning, Patty. Welcome. Super excited to have you here. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Okay, so we're going to take this last little strip that we have, and we're going to cut it down to 3 inches. Here we go. And we actually want it to be 1 by 3, so I'm going to turn it around and cut it down to 1 inch. There we go. A little bit of scrap there. So we need this 1 inch piece. I'm going to put it aside with the other base to our card. And then we need basic white. So let's grab that in along with our designer series paper that we're going to be using. Let's cut the basic white. And we're going to cut the basic white at 2 1/8 by 3 1/4. So I'm going to cut it at 3 1/4 first. Then we'll have most of our pieces done, and we can get down to some assembly. And 2 1/8. Let me double check that. Perfect. And then let's bring in our designer series paper. So the designer series paper, we're going to be cutting the same. It will be 2 1/8 by 3 1/4. So I am going to start, this is going to be in portrait mode. I'm going to start with the 2 1/8 first, and then I can take that strip and cut the other pieces that we need. So let's cut the strip at 2 1/8. And we'll put the largest portion of our designer series paper to the side. Let's move that basic white out of the way as well. Then we'll turn and we'll cut at 3 1/4 inch. So we need 2 pieces of designer series paper. So we're going to cut at 3 1/4. Then we'll cut another one at 3 1/4. There we go. And then this is extra, so we'll put this aside. All right. Let's make sure we have all the pieces that we need. I think so. And so we'll do, oh no, we have one other piece of designer series paper. It needs to be 5/8 by 3 1/4. So 5/8, remember 1/8 is 2 little lines. And 1/4 inch would be 2/8. So we need 5/8. We're going to go 2 little lines past the 1/2 inch. If you need help with measuring, I know this is challenging, especially when you don't cut at 1/4 of an inch. So we're at the 1/2 inch, and we're going to go 2 little places past that, and that should be 5/8. And then we're going to cut it down to 3 1/4. I don't know, measuring, I think that I figured out measuring because mathematically I had to figure out, you guys are going to think this is so funny, but mathematically I had to figure out how to calculate coupons for discounts in the store. And that gave me the confidence that I needed to convert it to cutting on a trimmer. So funny, funny, funny. All right, so let's get started with a little bit of assembly. I have the petal pink and white diagonal trim combo pack, and we're gonna actually put ribbon on before we adhere our designer series paper. So I want to do that. Even though we have petal pink here, we're going to use the white ribbon. We're going to do a little bit of scoring, so let's get some order. There we go. Here are all of our little pieces. Here's the base of our holder. So I'm going to go ahead and fold and burnish with my bone folder on the score lines. Are you guys keeping up with me? Okay. So can you see that it will look kind of like a little booklet or a folder? So this is what we have at first. And you guys, this makes such a cute stocking stuffer. And you can get so many. And again, I got the I don't want to call it chapstick, lip balm from the Dollar Tree. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is add a length of ribbon right to the center of our card base. And I want to make sure that we have enough to tie. I'm not quite sure how much that would be. I think I have maybe about 14 or 15 inches of ribbon, and I can cut it down. I can cut it down later. And you might want to use glue dots. Let's use glue dots to stick our ribbon down. We could probably use, no, let's use the Stampin' Seal Plus. Let's do that. I think it's fatter. Yeah, let's use the Seal Plus. The Stampin' Seal Plus is a strong adhesive, and I'm just eyeballing I'm not measuring, but you could if you're not confident with measuring. And you can use the adhesive of choice, but I would recommend maybe glue dots or tear and tape or your Stampin' Seal Plus, which is a strong adhesive. And then I'm going to stick this right down to the center, kind of leaving it even on both sides. I hope at least close to even. And I'm just going to press it down with my bone folder. All right, and then we have our designer series paper. So we need one for the front, one for the back cover, and then that little tiny piece that we have is going to go right on the spine. So let's go ahead and stick these down. And we could probably even use the reverse side. So this is the reverse side of that paper. I think we could have gotten away with using this side of it and using the petal pink ribbon. But I love the little penguins there, so. Oh, Marie, you're right. The measurements, I always try to at least explain it the way my brain understands it. My husband and I calculate, his brain works differently. He has shortcuts that probably he learned in one of his classes. But I am probably like most people. I need whole numbers or quarters of an inch. And when you start getting into the smaller fractions, I had to find ways to remember it or make it make sense in my brain. So I try to avoid them when I'm creating for the most part. Because, yeah. All right, and then we'll stick our last piece of designer series paper right on the center. So can you see that we've cut the designer series paper in portrait mode? All right, and so here's our little folder. And we'll turn it around. This is going to be the front of the folder. Okay, so the next thing that we have to do, is add our lip balm. So, oh, we are short. We do need 3 pieces of designer series paper. We need to cut another piece for the inside cover. But before we do that, let's go ahead and we have to do a little bit of scoring. I got ahead of myself. Let's put that piece of basic white aside. And we do need another piece of designer series paper. And then we have our basic white. So let's scooch this aside for a moment. And we're going to cut one more piece of the designer series paper. Again, we cut it, the designer series paper to 2 1/8 by 3 1/4. So remember, we cut a strip that was 2 1/8, and that's going to be the tallest line between the 2 and the 2 1/4. Let's get that out of here. There we go. We'll cut a strip right down. Let's move that to the side, and then we're going to cut it at 3 1/4 inch. So confident with that 1/4. There we go. Let's put this aside. We need this for the inside. Okay. And then we are going to do a little bit of scoring. So this is our Poppy Parade. This is going to be the holder that holds our lip balm in place. And we're going to score it at 3/4 inch on both ends. So if you have a Stampin' Up! Stampin' Trimmer. Here is ground zero, but on the opposite side of your trimmer, you have like 1 inch. I think it's maybe 1.5. When I have small pieces, I like to use the opposite side to measure and score. So we're going to score at 3/4 of an inch. Let's make sure that's right. And then we're going to flip it around and score it again at 3/4 of an inch on the other side. I hope I did that right. Are you guys keeping track of all of the measurements? They're quite a bit. The good news is that the video will remain on Facebook and it will be on YouTube. So if you need to go back and catch the directions again, we can do that. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is we'll go ahead and fold and burnish on those score lines. You want them to go in the same direction. So this little piece is what's going to hold our lip balm. I keep wanting to call it that name brand. I don't want to do that. Okay. And then open it right up. And then take your bone folder and we're going to give it a little bit of a curve. So if you've ever made twirly ribbon out of curling ribbon, if you ever wrapped gifts or anything with it, it's the same little motion. So I'm just pulling the cardstock like this and just kind of curling it in the center there because we want it to be round. This is going to hold our lip balm into place. All right, let's bring everything back in. These two pieces we have aside for a moment. And so can you see what we have going here? This is going to hold our lip balm into place. So let's grab one. I have an open pack and I think this color probably matches a little better. And then this will hold it down. So when you adhere your holder, you're going to aim at getting your score lines close to the score lines on the inside of your folder. Does that make sense? Can you see that? Thank you, Julie. Thank you so much. Okay. Julie, the paper is so cute, isn't it? It's very, very cute. All right. So now that I have the little curve, I'm actually going to add my Stampin' Seal Plus to one of the sides. We actually need it on both. So let's go ahead and put it on both. But I'm only going to put one side down and I'm eyeballing. I'm okay with guesstimating where the center is. I don't need to have it exact. And then before I put the other side down, I'm going to tuck my lip balm right inside so that I can make sure it's snug enough to hold. There we go. And then we can push it right out. You see that? There we go. Okay, so let's push it out for the moment. We have what we needed there. And then we'll go ahead, we'll attach the inside. So the Designer Series paper will go, if this is like a book, will go on the left side, and we're just going to cover those, the edges of the strip that we created. And we'll pop this right down. And then we have to decide if we want a sentiment on the white cardstock, and then it will go here. So let's take a look and see what we have in terms of sentiments. That may make sense. We have, so we have penguins going. It has to be something, Oh, I like this Love You More Than Peppermint. I wonder if we can fit that on there. Let's see. It may not fit. These are long phrases, I'm afraid. That peppermint is kind of a long word. Oh, guess what? It fits. All right, so let's grab the peppermint and let's move this aside. We're going to put that peppermint right on our piece of basic white, and we're going to use the Poppy Parade for that. So let's bring in the Poppy Parade. We'll stamp this right down. So you want to do your stamping before you adhere the basic white to your project, because if you make a mistake, you can always flip it over or grab a fresh piece. And then the Love You More Than. Let's see if we can make that fit. Actually, that's probably the phrase we should have. Oh, fantastic. It will work. So we'll put that in black. All right, let's put this right on the block. I'm putting it towards the top because the block is larger. Let's do that again. The block is much larger than the stamp is, and I don't want to get extra ink outside of the areas that I want it. This is going to be a very tight fit, but I think it will work. All right, so we'll ink this up with the black memento. And right over top of the peppermint, we'll stamp the Love You More Than. Okay. And here we have it. And we'll stamp this right down. Oh, that looks pretty good. Or adhere it. We've already stamped it. We'll adhere this right down. And then we'll work on the cover. We're going to put a cup of something on the cover, I think. All right, I think we may be able to pop our lip balm right back in the center. So can you see that? There we go. And then we have our ribbon to tie. Let's finish it off with, let's see. I wonder if we have, yes, perfect. So I have a die cut here. I wonder if our peppermint will, or I'm sorry, our cup will fit there. Let's grab our cup. Oh, we can't fill the cup. All right, so no topping, but we'll stamp the cup right down. Let's grab our black memento for the outline. We'll do a little bit of coloring, and then our project will be complete. So let's add some black memento. We have our coffee cup. I'm not sure what's going to be in our cup. We'll let whoever the recipient of our little lip balm holder decide what's in the cup. All right, and we'll do a little bit of coloring. So if you've not used Stampin' Blends markers before, they are alcohol-based, and they're lovely because they don't leave streaks like regular markers, like a highlighter would if you were coloring with a highlighter. And they also come as a 2-pack, so you'll get a light and a dark of the same shade. So this is Granny Apple Green, and I'm gonna start, there are 2 nibs. You have a brush point, and then you have a rounded tip. I'm actually going to use the rounded tip because I don't have a lot of space here, but I am gonna follow the line, the outline. Can you see that? So right along the top and the bottom, and then just on both sides. And I'm gonna do that again at the bottom. So our cup is green. We'll do it again at the bottom here with the rounded tip. This is what the tip looks like. Can you see that? And then I'm going to take the lighter shade and the brush tip, and I'm gonna scrub over top of I'm gonna fill this right in, and I'm actually scrubbing over top of the darker line. So I'll show you in a minute how you don't get the streaks that you would, like, let's say if you were using a highlighter. Isn't that cool? Oh, Julie, yes, please make these for stocking stuffers. They're so super simple and cute, right? All right, so the last thing we need to do is assign something to our label. So the peppermint I was praying to fit for a reason, because there is a little candy cane. Can you see it there? There's that little candy cane. We're gonna pull that out. I think I have a smaller block here. Oh yeah. Let's grab a little teeny tiny block, because that peppermint candy cane is kind of small. And we're going to take the black memento, and we're going to put that candy cane right on the label of our cup. So maybe this is some sort of mint cappuccino or latte, something coffee related. It could be hot chocolate. We'll take the hot chocolate too. All right. We're going to stamp that right down. Oh my goodness. Is that cute? Look at that. All right. Let's put our little candy cane. It's such a small, look at how tiny that stamp is. I'm going to stick it right back inside of the case because I'm afraid of losing it. Let's cover our ink back up. All right, and so now we're going to use the Poppy Parade, because this is going to match the base of our lip balm. And I'm only going to use one, so let's go ahead and use the dark and the rounded tip. And I'm just going to do every other one, because that's what's going to make this a candy cane, right? Every other one. So once again, this is something that you can use your own stash to create, because to be honest, who of us doesn't have already lots of paper in our stash? All right, so let's go ahead. We'll adhere this to the front with some Stampin' Dimensionals. So let's grab a larger size. Let's see if I have a pack that's ready to go. Oh, those are tiny. Those are tiny. I'm pretty sure I just opened a pack of Stampin' Dimensionals, so how they can be lost, I don't know. But here, there we have. We only need a couple, so that one works. And I think I'll grab my Take Your Pick tool. Let's make sure that we're getting these top and bottom. And we'll peel the adhesive backing off. And then we'll stick this right to the front, and we're done. All right, let's adhere this right to the front. And let's tie closed. Let's see if we need to trim any of the ribbon down. I think I was pretty generous because I wasn't sure how much of a bow we would need there, right? So we'll tie the bow, and there we have it. Isn't this the cutest little thing? So There are cute little penguins on the back. We have a cute little cup with a candy cane on it. And then when we open it, hidden inside, we have lip balm and love you more than peppermint. So this makes a cute little stocking stuffer, or if you have coworkers, a cute little coworker gift that you could leave, and useful, right? The lip balm is a useful gift. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about what we used. And again, remember the at Dollar Tree, I got the lip balm in a 3-pack. They do have some single lip balms, but this is the one that I used, the Chap Ice Lip Balm, and 3 in a pack. So really inexpensive stocking stuffer or quick little coworker gift, or for your mailman delivery people. You could even put this inside, oh, thank you, Marie. You could put this inside of a little cello bag even. And you know what? Let's see how it would fare with a cello envelope. Let's see if I have one handy. Maybe I don't have one handy. I usually have them somewhere near. Oh, let's grab. We do. I was going to say, I usually have them somewhere near because I'm using them quite a bit. This is a new pack that's finally opening. Let's see if we could even tuck it inside of a cello bag. There we go. Covered by the label. Because if so, if you have your Stampin' Up! Clear medium-size envelopes, they're like 50 in a pack. So let's tie this up. I'm curious to see if it will fit nicely inside of the little cello. And that makes a perfect tiny little gift. Let's tie it up again. And give it a nice little bow. And I'm willing to bet that we could open this envelope. I think I would stick it in sideways because if you stick it in sideways, you can fold it over. Oh yeah, perfect. So I have it upside down, but we would want the face of it in the opposite direction. So this would be the back. But voila. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and talk about what we used. So again, if you wanted to put it in a cello bag, you could even use your clear medium-sized envelopes. We used Stampin' Blends markers. I actually used Granny Apple Green and Poppy Parade, and I chose the Poppy Parade because it matches our designer series paper. And let's bring our designer series paper in again. So very cute, very wintry paper. Very, you know, wintry, I say, because there are Christmas trees in the snow globe. But aside from the holly, you could use this for any winter scene. And if you're using designer series paper from your stash, it can be whatever you have, right? But this happens to be the Snowy Scenes 12 by 12. And then we used the More Than Autumn. I love this stamp set and bundle, actually. Yeah, we use Stampin' Dimensionals as well. But so we used the More Than Autumn bundle. Bundles, of course, are 10% off as long as they're in the current catalog. If they do carry over, they're usually not bundled after that. If they're both available, they would have to be purchased separately. But as long as they're bundles, they're marked off at 10%. So the More Than Autumn, and you have all of these little things. So pie, you have your drink, and look at that little gingerbread man. When I started, I thought I was going to be using that gingerbread man. But anyway, so that, and then we use the Poppy Parade and Black Memento, which coordinate with that designer series paper. And just as a reminder, If you weren't familiar, Stampin' Up! Will tell you the colors that coordinate right on the packaging of the designer series paper. So if you have designer series paper in your stash and you want to match it up, there's your cheat sheet. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that this inspired you for a quick little last minute thing you could do for stocking stuffers or quick little gifts for delivery, your Amazon. Hey, Amazon has been at my doorstep almost every day for the past couple of weeks, and I'm not done. I have one more order to do, so that Amazon man is going to be back. So yeah, quick little gift, and you could stuff it to protect it inside of a medium clear envelope, cello envelope. And then don't forget, if you have a Dollar Tree near you, you get 3 of those for $1. And I think that's all we used. No, there's one other thing. We used the ribbon, but I'm sure you probably have lots of ribbon in your stash. But if you like this one, it is the petal pink and white striped ribbon. All right, now I think we've talked about everything. Okay, well, thank you all so much for being here. I am not sure if next week is going to be recorded. Like I said, I got new equipment, and I realized when I started that I don't have the right connectors because my instrumentation changed. So, all right, you guys, thank you for allowing me into your space this weekend. I hope you're inspired by this. Time, our most precious commodity. You're spending your time here with me, for which I am forever grateful. Have a fantastic weekend. Either way, I will be back with you next week. We'll either have a pre-recorded video project, or I might pop in on you live. Who knows? All right, you guys, thank you for being here. Have a fantastic weekend. I will see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye now.